Have you ever stared into a mirror too long and felt it? Something staring back that isn't you? What if you played a game with that reflection and it played back? Welcome to Friday 13, the channel where we don't just tell stories, we pull you into the dark with us. If you're watching this, you're not here by mistake. You're here because you thrive on the edge of fear, because you want that shiver that lingers long after the screen fades. See, this video? It's for you. Yes, you, right there. Maybe with the lights low, maybe with a mirror just out of sight. Tonight, we're diving into a creepypasta that's more than a tale. It's a warning. A warning about the mirror game and what happens when it goes wrong. So, take a deep breath, check your reflection, and let's step into the shadows together.
Before we start, let me ask you something. Something to keep in the back of your mind as we go. Picture yourself alone at night, standing in front of a mirror, candle in hand, whispering words you found online. Just a game, right? A silly dare. But what if the rules were real? What if breaking them meant letting something in? Something that knows you, watches you, follows you. Would you risk it? Hold that thought, because tonight, you're about to meet someone who did. And what they unleashed might make you think twice about that mirror in your room.
This is where it begins. Meet Riley, 17, bored and obsessed with the creepy corners of the internet. Just like some of you out there. Riley's the type who scrolls creepypasta forums late at night, chasing that thrill of the unknown. One Friday, fitting, right? They stumble across a post titled, "The Mirror Game." The rules are simple. At midnight, stand alone in a dark room with a mirror. Light a candle, stare into your reflection, and say, "Show me your face," 3 times. If you do it right, the post says, you'll see something. Maybe a shadow, maybe a figure, behind your reflection. If you do it wrong, well, it doesn't say. Just a warning, don't break the rules. Riley's hooked. It's perfect for a late night scare. A story to tell their friends. What could go wrong? Midnight hits. Riley's ready, nervous, but excited. They lock the door, turn off the lights, and light the candle. The flame dances, casting shadows that twist across the walls. They face the mirror, their reflection staring back. Familiar, but somehow off in the flickering light. Riley takes a breath and starts. "Show me your face." 1. "Show me your face." 2. "Show me your face." 3. The words hang in the air, heavy, like they've woken something. Riley waits, eyes locked on the glass. At first, nothing, just their own wide-eyed stare. Then, the candle flickers, and the shadows behind them shift. And here's your first hook, straight from Riley to you. What would you do if you saw it? A shape in the mirror that shouldn't be there. Would you keep looking? Or would you blow out that candle and run? Riley sees it. A figure. Just for a second. Tall and thin, standing right behind them in the reflection. They spin around, heart hammering. Nothing. The bathroom's empty, the door still locked. They laugh, shaky, chalking it up to nerves. But when they turn back, the mirror's different. Their reflections smiling. A slow, crooked grin they didn't make. Riley stumbles back, the candle nearly tipping. They didn't break the rules, did they? 3 times. Midnight. Alone. They followed it all. The post said to blow out the candle when you're done. So they do. Plunging the room into darkness. Problem solved, right? Except the next morning, things start to unravel. The next day, Riley wakes up to a weird vibe. The bathroom mirror, the one from the game, is in their bedroom now, propped on the dresser. They didn't move it. No one else was home.
They shove it under the bed, trying to forget. But that night, they hear it. Cratching, faint and insistent. Coming from under the mattress. Coming from under the mattress. They pull the mirror out, and there's a crack in the glass that wasn't there before. Coming from night. In the reflection, their face looks wrong. Eyes too dark, skin too pale. They cover it with a blanket and tell themselves it's nothing. But here's your next hook. What happens when the game doesn't end when you stop playing? Because Riley's about to find out, it's only getting started.
A week later, Riley's a wreck. Bags under their eyes, jumping at shadows. The mirror keeps showing up. On the dresser, in the hall, once even in the kitchen. They start recording, desperate for proof. They're not losing it. In the footage, they're ranting. It won't leave me alone. When the candle flares, and the mirror catches something. A hand, bony, claw-like, reaches out from the glass, brushing the edge before pulling back. Riley drops the phone, screaming, and the video cuts out. When it picks up, they're whispering. It spoke to me. A voice from the mirror, low and raspy. You called me. Now I stay. The rules didn't mention this. No one said it could talk, could follow. Riley smashes the mirror, shards everywhere. But the pieces keep reflecting, each one showing that crooked grin. And Riley thinks, breaking it will end it. They're wrong. The next night, every reflective surface, windows, phone screens, even a spoon, shows it. That figure, closer now, eyeless but watching. The scratching's louder, coming from inside the walls, and the air smells like rot. Riley posts one last update online. Don't play the mirror game. It's not a game. Then, silence. No more posts, no trace. Friends check their house days later. It's empty, except for one thing. The mirror, whole again, sitting on the dresser, reflecting an empty room, with that figure standing in the corner. And here's another hook for you. What if it's not gone? What if it's waiting for someone else to play? Close quote. No one knows where Riley went. If they ran, if they're hiding, or if the mirror took them. The creepypasta spread. Some call it fake. Others swear they've tried it and seen the shadow too. Maybe it's just a story. Or maybe, right now, that mirror in your house is listening, waiting for you to say the words. And here's the final hook, just for you. What if you looked tonight, at midnight, and saw it? Something behind your reflection that knows your name. Would you dare play? Or would you cover every mirror you own? That's it for tonight, you fearless few. If Riley's tail got under your skin, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you're ready for our next descent into the dark. Tell us in the comments, would you play the mirror game? This is Friday 13, where reflections aren't always what they seem. Sleep tight, and maybe avoid the mirror tonight. Have you ever driven alone at night and felt it? That prickling on the back of your neck? Like someone's there, just out of sight.
Maybe you've glanced in your rearview mirror and thought, just for a heartbeat, that a shadow moved. If that's you, then listen up. You didn't stumble onto this video by accident.
You're here because you crave the kind of story that sinks its claws into you and doesn't let go.
Welcome to Friday 13, where we don't just tell tales, we make you feel them deep in your bones. This video, The Silent Passenger of the Blue Ridge Parkway, isn't for the faint of heart. It's for you, sitting there right now, maybe with the lights dimmed. Maybe already wondering what's lurking just beyond the screen. You click this because you want the chills, the suspense, the thrill that only a true horror story can deliver.
And I promise you,
You're in the right place. I'm here to take you on a drive you won't forget. A nightmare so vivid, you'll check your back seat the next time you're alone in your car.
So, buckle up, turn up the sound, and let's hit the road together. This is Friday 13, and we're about to make your night a whole lot darker.
Before we roll into the story, let's start with something to grab you. A hook that'll stick with you. A hook that'll stick with you the whole way. Imagine this. You're driving down a lonely road. The kind where the trees lean in too close, and the night swallows everything but your headlights. You're alone, or at least you think you are. Then, you feel it. A shift, a heaviness, like someone sitting behind you. You sneak a peek in the mirror, and there they are. A figure, silent, staring straight ahead. What would you do? Would you scream, pull over, or just keep driving, hoping it's all in your head? That's the question we're starting with tonight. And trust me, you're going to want the answer. But this isn't just any story. It's a warning, a glimpse into something that could be waiting for you out there. You're watching Friday 13 because you love the fear, the unknown, the rush of not knowing what's next. So, stick with me. You, yes, you. Because this tale's about to unfold, and it's built for horror fans like you who live for the shadows.
This is where it all begins. The Blue Ridge Parkway, a 469-mile ribbon of road, carved through the Appalachian Mountains.
By day, it's a postcard. Sweeping views, golden forests, air so crisp it bites. But at night, oh, that's when it changes. The fog creeps in, the curves sharpen, and the silence, it's like the world's holding its breath.
Meet Jake, a 35-year-old photographer who knows this road like the back of his hand. Why?
He's chased sunsets here, snapped shots of misty peaks. Always alone, always fine. He's not the type to buy into ghost stories. Tourist bait, he'd call them. But tonight, as he merges onto the parkway just after sunset, something's wrong. The air feels thick, his radio crackles with static, and the shadows between the trees, they're moving, aren't they? You've heard the rumors, haven't you? The silent passenger, a ghostly figure that appears in the backseats of cars on this road, never speaking, just watching. Jake laughs it off, but you and I, we know better.
This is Friday 13, and here, the legends don't stay legends.
Oh, Jake's 20 miles in, and the quiet's getting to him. He's used to long drives. But this feels different. Then it hits. A smell, faint at first, like wet dirt and something sour seeping into the car. He checks the vents, mutters, "What the hell? Nothing's leaking. Nothing's open." The air turns cold, his breath fogging up despite the heater on full blast. He cranks it higher, but the chill digs deeper. That's when he feels it. A weight in the back seat, heavy, real. His eyes snap to the mirror, and there it is. A man, pale as death, in old, tattered clothes, staring straight ahead with hollow eyes. So, let's answer that first hook. What do you do when you see that? Jake's about to show us. But here's your next hook. What if it doesn't just sit there? What if it talks?
Jake's brain scrambles. Maybe it's a hitchhiker, someone he missed, but he hasn't stopped since town. He forces a steady voice. "Hey man, how'd you get in here?" Nothing. The figure doesn't twitch. Louder now. "You need to get out now." Silence. The car feels tighter, the air choking. He thinks about pulling over, but the road's a cliff on one side, a wall of trees on the other. Then, it moves. Just a slight turn of the head, and Jake swears its empty eyes meet his in the mirror. A whisper fills the car. "Keep driving." It's not from the back seat, it's everywhere. Like the dashboard, the seats, the air itself is speaking. Jake's skin crawls. He wants to bolt, but something
Some gut-deep instinct tells him stopping isn't an option. So he drives, the silence heavier than ever. Let's answer that hook. It doesn't just sit, it speaks. But here's your next one. What if it starts to change? The miles stretch on, and Jake's nerves shred. He keeps checking the mirror, and every time, the passenger's different. Its skin sags like wet paper, its eyes sink into black pits, its mouth twists into a grin, too wide for a human face. The smell thickens. Rotting meat, damp soil. Jake's hands tremble. He knows the stories. Drivers who pick up the silent passenger and vanish. Their cars found empty, seats stained with something dark. Is that his fate? Let's answer that hook. It doesn't just talk, it transforms, becoming less human with every curve of the road. And here's your next hook. What if it's not alone? Jake's unraveling. He risks a glance back, and his heart stops. There's more. 3, 4 figures, all silent, all staring. Their faces are nightmares, eyes bulging, mouths gaping, skin peeling away. The car feels stuffed with them, the air unbreathable. He slams the brakes, but the car doesn't stop. It rolls on, like something else has the wheel. The whispers return, a chorus now. Keep driving, don't look back. Jake yells, what do you want from me? They lean forward as one, their voices a hiss. You. The car jolts, the engine roaring like a beast. The road ahead vanishes into black, and the screen cuts out. Clear, Jake's story doesn't wrap up neatly. It lingers, like the fear crawling through you right now. Some say his car was found at dawn, parked perfectly on the shoulder, empty but for a rotting handprint on the back seat. Others claim they've seen him still driving the parkway, pale and hollow-eyed, another silent passenger, trapped forever. The legend spreads. Don't drive the Blue Ridge alone after dark, or you might pick up something you can't drop off. So, that last hook. It's not alone. It's a horde, a ghostly pack hunting the lost. But here's your final hook, just for you. What if it's not just the parkway? What if it's your road, waiting for the next time you drive alone at night? Come. That's it for tonight, you brave souls. If Jake's nightmare shook you, brave souls, if Jake's nightmare shook you, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. More terrors coming your way. Tell me in the comments, would you keep driving if you saw it? Stay safe out there, and maybe stick to daylight drives. This is Friday 13, signing off, though the dark's still watching you. Have you ever gone for a jog at night and felt that prickling on the back of your neck? Like someone or something is right behind you. Maybe you've quickened your pace, told yourself it's just the wind, but what if it's not? Welcome back to Friday 13, where we don't just tell stories, we drag you into the darkness with us. If you're watching this, you didn't stumble here by accident. No. You clicked this video because you're one of us. Someone who craves that shiver down your spine. That rush of adrenaline only a good scare can give. This story, The Phantom Jogger of Central Park, is for you. Yes, you, sitting there right now. Maybe with the lights off, maybe alone. You've landed on the perfect video, and I promise, we're going to deliver exactly what you came for. A tale so chilling, you'll think twice before stepping outside, after dark. So, settle in, lock your doors, turn up the volume, and let's dive into the shadows together, because this one's all about you, and what's waiting out there. Before we start, let's set the stage with something I want you to think about. Picture yourself jogging through Central Park at night. The paths stretch out endlessly, the trees towering overhead, their branches clawing at the sky. It's just you, your footsteps, and the faint glow of streetlights. Then you hear it, another set of footsteps,
echoing yours, just out of sync. You speed up. They speed up. You stop. What would you do? Would you dare look back? Or would you run faster, hoping whatever's there doesn't catch up? Keep that in your mind, because tonight you're about to meet someone who faced that exact moment. And what happened next might just haunt you. This is Friday 13, and we're here to make sure you feel every second of it. This is where our story begins. Central Park, New York City. By day, it's a haven. Joggers, tourists, families soaking in the sun. But when night falls, it transforms. The paths empty out, the shadows deepen, and the park becomes something else. A place where legends whisper through the trees. Meet Emily, a 28-year-old New Yorker who's made this park her escape. She's a marathon runner, a skeptic, and the voice behind Mythbuster Emily, a blog where she dismantles urban legends with a smirk and a camera. Lately, she's heard the rumors. Tales of the phantom jogger, a ghostly figure said to stalk the park's paths after dark, chasing lone runners until they're never seen again. It's nonsense, she tells her running group. Just a spooky story for gullible people. But those stories cling to her, and she decides to turn them into her next big post. She'll jog the haunted route at midnight, live streaming it all to prove there's nothing out there. What could possibly go wrong? Emily's no stranger to a challenge, and she's ready to take this one head on. She's dug into the legend. Old forum posts, grainy articles, tales from runners who swear they've seen something. One wrote, "I was near the reservoir when I felt it. Someone keeping pace with me. I turned, and there was this figure, its face pale and twisted, grinning like death itself. I ran, and it was gone." Another said, "My cousin jogged that path and vanished. They found his shoe, nothing else." Emily rolls her eyes at it all. Classic campfire stuff. But as she steps into the crisp October night, a tiny voice in her head whispers, "What if they're right?" She brushes it off, grabs her phone, and heads to the park. Because this is her night to shine, and you're coming along for the ride.
Hey everyone, Mythbuster Emily here, live from Central Park. Tonight, I'm tackling the phantom jogger legend. They say it hunts runners at night, but I'm here to prove it's all hype. So stick with me as I jog the haunted road. Headlamp on, skepticism dialed up. Let's do this.
Emily hits the path, her footsteps steady, her breath puffing into the chilly air. Central Park at night is a different beast. The trees loom like silent watchers, their shadows stretching long and jagged. It's quiet, too quiet. And there's a weight in the air, like the park knows something she doesn't. She keeps the live stream upbeat. "See? Just a nice jog," she says, panning the camera across the empty trails. But then, a comment pops up. "Something moved behind you." She glances back. Nothing but darkness. "Nice try, guys," she chuckles, but it's strained. The chat lights up. "No, really, I saw it. Check the trees." She slows, sweeping the camera around. The lens catches only shadows and the distant hum of the city. "Told you? Nothing here," she says, but her voice wavers. And right then, you've got to wonder, did you see something in that frame? Or are your eyes playing tricks too? 10 minutes in, things start to shift. Emily's phone beeps, battery at 80%. "That's odd," she mutters. "It was full when I left." She shrugs it off. Live streaming's a power hog, right? But the air's colder now, biting at her skin, and the silence feels heavier, like it's listening. Then, out of nowhere, a splash, sharp and loud, from a pond up ahead. She freezes, heart thudding, and swings the camera toward it. Ripples spread across the black water, slow and deliberate, but there's nothing. No ducks, no wind, no explanation. "Okay, that was weird," she admits, her breath clouding the lens. The chat goes wild.
That wasn't natural. Emily, leave now. She forces a laugh. Probably a fish or something. You guys are jumping at shadows. But as she turns away, another sound stops her cold. Footsteps. Faint but clear, echoing from behind. She spins around, the camera shaking. The path's empty. Hello? She calls, her voice bouncing off the trees. Silence. The footsteps stop. She checks the chat. We heard it. Run, Emily. She smirks, but it's shaky. Just another jogger, right? Nothing spooky here. Except when she starts again, those footsteps come back. Closer, matching her rhythm, just offbeat enough to chill your blood. Now, put yourself in Emily's shoes, because this is about you too. You're alone out there, miles from anyone, with only a flickering phone tying you to safety. Note, every shadow looks like it's moving. Every sound claws at your nerves. That's where Emily is right now. She tries to play it cool for the stream, but her hands tremble. Okay, maybe I should head back, she says, turning around. But the path's wrong, twisted, unfamiliar, like the park shifted around her. This isn't right, she whispers. I know these trails. The chat's a frenzy. You're lost! Look behind you! She swings the camera, and there it is. A figure, standing under a street lamp, in the distance. A jogger, dark clad, face hidden in shadow. Hey, do you know the way out? She calls, hopeful. No answer. Then, it moves, jogging toward her. Slow at first, then faster. Its steps jerky and wrong. Emily's gut screams at her. She bolts, the camera jolting with every stride. Here's your hook. What would you do if that figure started running at you? Run like Emily, or stand there, frozen, waiting to see its face? Emily runs, but it's gaining. Those footsteps pounding closer, too fast, too loud. She risks a glance back, and what she sees rips a scream from her throat. It's no jogger. Its eyes are black pits, its mouth a gaping, twisted grin, stretched wider than any human should be. It moves like a marionette, limbs snapping unnaturally, closing the gap. No, no, she cries, the phone slipping from her grip. The live stream catches the ground, leaves, pavement, then a blur of something reaching down, before static swallows it all. When the feed cuts out, her followers lose it, flooding the chat with panic. But Emily? She's gone. The next morning, that phone was all they found. No Emily, no trace. Her live stream hit the internet like a wildfire, dissected by everyone, from horror junkies to detectives. Camera. Some call it a stunt. Others swear that figure was real. But here's where it gets personal for you. They never found her, sure. But the phantom jogger? Jim? It didn't stop. Runners still talk about it, feeling watched, hearing steps that echo theirs. Some say they've seen it, a shadow in the distance, jogging with that same ghastly grin. So, let's answer that first hook. What happens when you hear those footsteps? Emily ran, and it took her anyway, which leaves a new question burning. What if it's not stuck in Central Park? What if it follows you home, waiting for your next run? Well, Emily's story doesn't end clean. It lingers, just like the dread creeping up your spine right now. The phantom jogger's still out there, they say, hunting anyone brave or foolish enough to jog alone at night. Maybe it's watching the park. Maybe it's closer than that. So, next time you're out, lacing up your shoes, and feel that chill, listen. If you hear footsteps that aren't yours, don't look back. Run, and pray it's not too late. This is Friday 13, where the nightmares don't let go. Thanks for sticking with us, you fearless souls. If Emily's fate got under your skin, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. We've got more shadows to explore. Tell us in the comments, would you risk a midnight jog after this? Until next time, stay safe and maybe keep your runs to daylight. This is Friday 13, signing off. However, the dark Have you ever received a letter that wasn't meant for you, but somehow knew your deepest secrets? What if that letter wasn't just words on paper, but a conversation, a back and forth, with something that shouldn't be listening? If that thought makes your skin crawl, then you're exactly where you need to be. So, welcome to Friday 13, the channel where we don't just tell stories, we drag you into the nightmare and make you feel every shiver, every gasp. You didn't stumble onto this video by accident. No, you clicked the mailbox that answers back because you're one of us, someone who thrives on the edge of fear, who wants that rush when the ordinary turns sinister. This video? It's for you. Yes, you, sitting there right now, maybe with your mailbox just outside, maybe already wondering what's waiting in there. You've landed on the perfect spot, and I'm here to deliver a tale so haunting, so personal, you'll think twice before checking your mail again. So, settle in, turn up the volume, and let's open the envelope together, because on Friday 13, we don't hold back. This is your story now, and it's about to get dark. Before we dive in, let's start with that hook I planted. What would you do if you found a letter in your mailbox? What would you do if you found a letter in your mailbox that knew your name, your fears, your secrets? Hold that question close, because it's about to become real for someone named Mark. But first, I want you to know you're in the right place. You chose Friday 13 because you wanted a horror story that hits hard, and I'm promising you right now, this is it. It's long, it's detailed, and it's packed with the kind of suspense that'll have you leaning closer, wondering what's next. This isn't a quick scare, it's a slow burn, and I'm taking you, yes, you, along for every twisted turn. Ready? Let's meet Mark and see what happens when the mailbox starts talking back. This is where it all begins. A sleepy neighborhood, the kind where everyone knows your business. But no one really knows you, business. Meet Mark, a 32-year-old accountant who's just moved here for a fresh start. He's quiet, keeps to himself, and likes it that way. The house is perfect, white picket fence, creaky porch, and an old mailbox that's seen better days. It's charming, right? But on his first morning, as he grabs the newspaper, he finds something else. A letter, addressed to him, in shaky handwriting. No stamp, no return address. He tears it open, expecting a welcome note. Instead, it's one sentence. I know what you did. His stomach drops. He's new here. No one knows him, let alone his past. He crumples it, tosses it in the trash. But you've felt that, haven't you? That sinking dread when something nameless knows your name. So, let's answer that first hook. What do you do when a letter knows too much? Mark's about to find out. But here's your next hook. What if it's not done talking? And the next day, Mark checks the mailbox again. Cautiously, like it might bite. Another letter, same handwriting. You can't hide from it. His hands shake. He slams the mailbox shut, looks around, empty street, no one watching. He burns the letter this time, watches the ashes scatter. But the words linger, clawing at him. He tries to rationalize. Maybe it's a prank, a nosy neighbor. He asks around, but everyone's friendly, clueless. Days pass, no letters, and he starts to relax. Then, on a rainy afternoon, he finds another. It's closer now. The paper's damp, ink smudged, like it was written in a hurry. He rips it up, but the fear's real now, gnawing at him. Let's answer that hook. It's not done, it's getting bolder. Here's your next one. What if it starts asking questions? Mark's losing sleep, jumping at shadows. He's thinking about moving, but something, maybe pride, maybe fear, keeps him rooted. Then, one night, he finds a letter that's different. It's not a statement. It's a question. Do you regret it? His blood runs cold. He grabs a pen, scribbles yes on the back, and shoves it in the mailbox. Slamming the flag up, he waits, heart hammering. Hours later, the flag lowers. Inside, the same paper, but his yes is crossed out, replaced with liar. The word burns into him. He's talking to it now, and it's talking back. So, that hook. It's asking questions, and it knows when he lies. Here's your next hook. What if it wants more than answers? Mark's trapped in a game he doesn't understand. He tries ignoring it, but the letters keep coming. Confess offer, but the letters keep coming. Tell me more. Confess. I'm waiting. Each one feels heavier, like it's pressing down on his chest. He writes back, desperate. Who are you? What do you want? The reply comes fast. I want the truth. He's spiraling, memories clawing up, things he's buried deep, things no one should know. He grabs a bottle, drinks to forget, but the mailbox flag flips up again, relentless. He stumbles out, yanks it open. This time, it's not a letter. It's a photo, old and creased. Him, younger, standing over something. Someone. His hands shake. He burns it, but the image sears into his mind. Let's answer that hook. It wants more. It wants his guilt, his confession. Here's your next one. What if it's not just watching? What if it's coming for him? And Mark's breaking. He hasn't slept in days, hasn't left the house. The letters are constant now. Time's up. I'm close. Look outside. He peers through the blinds, and there it is. A figure, shadowy and vague, standing by the mailbox. It doesn't move, just stares. He blinks, and it's gone. But the letters keep coming, each one colder. I'm at the door. I'm inside. I'm behind you. He spins around. Nothing. Then, one final letter. Look in the mirror. He stumbles to the bathroom, and there, in the glass, it's not his reflection. Oh, it's it, pale, hollow-eyed, grinning. He screams, smashes the mirror. The lights die, and the screen goes black. Mark's story doesn't end. It festers, like the fear crawling through you right now. Neighbors found his house empty, the mailbox stuffed with blank letters. Some say he ran, others whisper he was taken. The mailbox still stands, rusted and waiting. So, that hook, it's not just watching, it's coming for him, and it got what it wanted. Here's your final hook for you. What if that mailbox is on your street? What if it's already watching, waiting for you to slip a letter inside? That's it for night, you fearless souls. If Mark's nightmare shook you, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. More horrors are coming. Subscribe and ring the bell. More horrors are coming. Tell me in the comments. Would you answer back? Stay safe, and maybe avoid the mail. This is Friday 13. Signing off, though the dark's still out there, waiting for you. What if the ice on Lake Michigan wasn't just frozen water, but a prison for something far more sinister? Think about that for a second. You, sitting there, right now, maybe with the lights dimmed, maybe already feeling that shiver crawl up your spine. Welcome to Friday 13, where the shadows stretch long and the cold sinks deep. You didn't stumble here by chance. You clicked on the frozen faces of Lake Michigan because you're craving something dark, something that'll grip you and won't let go. And I'm here to tell you, you've picked the perfect video. This isn't just any horror story. It's your descent into a frozen nightmare, crafted especially for horror lovers like you. You, who thrive on suspense. who feel that thrill when fear tightens its hold. We're not here to waste your time with cheap jump scares. This is a slow, creeping tale, built to pull you into the icy depths of Lake Michigan, step by chilling step. So, settle in, turn up the volume, and let's dive into the abyss together. This is Friday 13, and we're about to make your night a whole lot colder. Here's your first hook. You. What if you stood on the frozen edge of Lake Michigan? What if you stood on the frozen edge of Lake Michigan and saw faces staring back at you from under the ice? Faces frozen in terror, trapped just beneath the surface. Hold that image in your mind, because it's about to become real for someone named Emma. But before we meet her, let me reassure you, you're in the right place. You chose Friday 13 because you wanted a horror story that hits deep, and this one's made for you. It's long, it's detailed, and it's packed with the kind of suspense that'll keep you on edge, wondering what's next. This isn't a quick fright. It's a slow burn, a tale that'll wrap around you like the winter wind off the lake. Ready? Let's step onto the ice with Emma and see what happens when the cold starts to whisper. Picture this, you. Lake Michigan, locked in winter's grip, its surface of mirror. Lake Michigan, locked in winter's grip, its surface a mirror of ice stretching to the horizon. It's beautiful, isn't it? But there's something off, something that makes your skin prickle. Why? That's where we find Emma, a 28-year-old photographer, chasing the perfect shot. She's heard the rumors, tales of strange shapes beneath the ice, of people who vanished out here. But you know how it is, don't you? She brushes it off as superstition. She's here for art, not ghost stories. But as she steps onto the ice, her boots crunching through the snow, the wind picks up, and the lake groans beneath her. You've felt that before, haven't you? That moment when the world feels alive, almost like it's watching you. So, let's answer that first hook. What are those faces under the ice? Emma's about to find out. But here's your next hook. You? What if they're not just frozen? They're alive. Emma's breath catches. She tells herself it's nothing. A trick of the light. Maybe an air bubble or a frozen fish. But then she sees another face. And another. Scattered beneath the ice, like a gallery of trapped souls. She lifts her camera, snaps a photo, and the flash lights up the ice. And for a heartbeat, those faces seem to move, their expressions shifting. Emma stumbles back, her pulse racing. You've had moments like that, haven't you? When your eyes play tricks, or maybe they don't. So, here's the answer to that hook. Those faces aren't just frozen, they're watching her. And here's your next hook. What if they're trying to escape? Emma's mind is screaming at her to run, but her feet won't move. The ice groans again, louder this time, and a thin crack splits the surface near her boots. She freezes, pun intended. Then she hears it. A whisper, faint but unmistakable, carried on the wind. Help us. It's coming from beneath her feet. She looks down, and the faces are closer now, their mouths moving, forming words she can almost understand. You've felt that chill, haven't you? That moment when fear digs in and won't let go. So, let's answer that hook. They're not just watching, they're begging to be freed. But here's your next hook. What if something wants to pull her under instead? Emma's heart is pounding now. She's not alone out here. Those footprints are fresh, but there's no one else in sight, not yet. She follows them, desperate for help or answers. But as she gets closer, she sees it. A figure standing on the ice, its back to her. It's tall, too tall. Its frame gaunt, and its skin pale as the snow. It turns, and its face, its face, is a twisted mask of ice, eyes hollow and black as the depths.
It points to the ice beneath her feet, and the whispers grow louder. "Join us." Emma screams, but the wind swallows it whole. Let's answer that hook. Something doesn't want her to escape. It wants her to stay, forever. Here's your next hook, you. What if it's already too late?
Emma's fighting for her life now, you. Whatever's beneath the ice is strong, relentless, dragging her toward the crack. She grabs her camera, smashes it against the ice in desperation, and for a fleeting moment, the grip loosens. What? She scrambles back, gasping, but the figure is closer now. Its icy breath brushing her neck. Ha! She looks into its hollow eyes and sees herself. You. Her own face, frozen beneath the ice, staring back with the others. The screen cuts to black.
Emma's story ends there. Or does it? The lake freezes over every winter. You. And some say there's one more, D. The lake freezes over every winter. You. And some say there's one more face beneath the ice now, staring up from the dark. So, that hook. It's already too late for Emma, and maybe for you if you ever step onto that ice. Here's your final hook, you. What if those faces are still out there, waiting for the next soul to wander too close? Next time you're near a frozen lake, will you dare to look down? That's it for tonight, you fearless souls. If this tale froze your blood, and I know it did, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. More chills are coming your way. Drop a comment below. Would you step onto that ice, knowing what you know now? Stay warm out there, and maybe steer clear of the lake. This is Friday 13, signing off. However, the shadows are still watching. What if the woods near your house hid something worse? Something worse than wild animals. Something with twisted, swollen heads and eyes that glow like dying embers. Imagine this, you. You're walking a quiet road at night, and from the trees, you hear it. A skittering, a whisper, calling your name. If that thought makes your heart skip a beat, then you're exactly where you need to be. Welcome to Friday 13, the channel where nightmares aren't just stories, they're experiences we craft for you. You didn't click the melon heads of Connecticut by chance. No, you're here because you're one of us, someone who feeds on fear, who craves that electric jolt when the ordinary turns sinister. This video is for you. Yes, you, sitting there right now, maybe with the curtains drawn, maybe already feeling the weight of the dark pressing in. You've landed on the perfect video, and I'm here to promise you a tale so eerie, so personal, you'll think twice before stepping near a wooded road again. So, settle in, crank up the sound, and let's venture into Connecticut's shadows together. Because on Friday 13, we don't just scare you, we pull you in deep. This is your nightmare now, and it's about to begin. Let's hold on to that first hook. What would you do if you heard your name, whispered from the woods, by something that shouldn't exist? Keep that in your mind, because it's about to become real for someone named Chris. But before we meet him, I want you to know you're in the right place. You picked Friday 13 because you wanted a horror story that digs into your bones. And I'm telling you right now, this is it. It's long, it's rich with detail, and it's packed with the kind of suspense that'll keep you glued, wondering what's lurking around the next bend. This isn't a quick fright. It's a slow, creeping terror, and I'm bringing you along for every step. Ready? Let's meet Chris and see what happens when the melonheads call. This is Chris, a 29-year-old mechanic from Trumbull, Connecticut. He's lived here his whole life, knows every road like the back of his hand, or so he thinks. Tonight, he's taking a shortcut down Velvet Street. Locals call it Dracula Drive,
a winding, wooded lane that's more legend than road. You've heard of places like this, haven't you? The kind where kids dare each other to go, or the air feels wrong. Chris isn't thinking about that, though. He's just tired, eager to get home. But then, his car sputters, headlights dimming. He pulls over, cursing, and steps out into the fog. That's when he hears it. Chris, a whisper, soft and childlike, from the trees. He spins, flashlight trembling in his hand. Nothing's there, just shadows and mist. You've felt that, haven't you? That prickle when you're alone, when the dark seems alive. So, let's answer that first hook. What do you do when something whispers your name? Chris is about to find out. But here's your next hook. What if those whispers belong to the Melonheads? Chris's gut twists. He's heard the stories. Everyone in Southwest Connecticut has. The Melonheads. Small, humanoid creatures with oversized, swollen skulls, lurking in the forests of Trumbull, Shelton, Monroe. Some say they're escaped asylum patients from the 60s, driven mad and deformed by inbreeding and cannibalism. Others whisper they're a colonial family, banished for witchcraft, twisted by centuries in the wild. Chris always laughed it off. Until now. He calls out, "Who's there?" The whispers answer, louder, overlapping. "Chris, come see." He stumbles back, flashlight shaking, and catches a glimpse. Something small, hunched, with a head too big for its body. Eyes glowing red in the dark. You know that fear, don't you? When your mind screams run, but your legs won't obey. So, that hook. The whispers are the Melonheads, and they know him. Here's your next one. What if they're not just watching? What if they're hunting? Duh. Chris floors it. Tires screeching, but the road's changed. It loops, bends, keeps dragging him back toward the woods. The whispers grow into a chorus, clawing at his ears. Stay, play. He swerves, nearly crashing, and slams on the brakes. Through the windshield, he sees them. Dozens of Melonheads, lining the trees, their bulbous heads swaying, their jagged teeth glinting. They don't rush him. They wait, patient, like they've got all night. Chris fumbles for his phone, no signal. He's alone, just like you might be on a road like this, with no one to hear you scream. Let's answer that hook. They're not just watching, they're hunting. And they've set the trap. Here's your next hook. What if they've been waiting for him all along? Chris runs, branches snapping underfoot, his breath ragged. He's thinking about every story he dismissed. The missing hikers, the abandoned cars on Dracula Drive. The Melonheads close in, their deformed limbs cracking as they move, their swollen heads bobbing like grotesque balloons. He trips, falls, and they surround him. Small, twisted figures with eyes that bore into his soul. One steps forward, its voice a rasp. "You're ours now." Chris screams, but the woods swallow it. You've had that nightmare, haven't you? Where you're cornered, helpless, and the dark takes you. So, that hook. They've been waiting for Chris, maybe waiting for years. Here's your next one. What if they don't just want him? What if they want something from him? Oh. They pull Chris to an old shack, hidden deep in the forest. Inside, it's a nightmare. Walls smeared with blood, bones scattered on the floor. The Melonheads shove him down, and one presses a claw to his chest, whispering, "Give it to us." Chris doesn't understand until he feels it. A pull, like his fear, his essence, is draining out of him. Their heads pulse, growing larger, feeding off him. He fights, but they pin him, their laughter a jagged edge. You've felt powerless before, haven't you? That terror when you're nothing but prey. Let's answer that hook. They don't just want him. They're feeding on his soul, his life. Here's your final hook. You? What if they're out there right now, waiting for someone new, someone like you? Chris's story ends there. Or does it, Chris's story ends there? Or does it? The shack's still out there, they say, and so are the melonheads. Whispering on roads like Velvet Street, Zion Hill, Sawmill City. Locals avoid those places, but the curious, they vanish. So, that hook. They're waiting. For you, maybe, the next soul to wander too close. Next time you're driving at night, you listen for the whispers. You might just hear your name. That's it for tonight, you fearless fiends. If this tale shook you, fearless fiends, if this tale shook you, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. More horrors are coming. Tell me in the comments, would you dare drive down Dracula Drive? Stay safe, and maybe stick to the main roads. This is Friday 13, signing off. But the shadows, they're still out there, watching you.